we are gonna make a sweatshirt. I know everyone loves wearing sweatshirts and they're so easy to make. So I'm gonna go over exactly how to make a sweatshirt today. And these make great gifts for the holidays because they're so easy to create and you can add your own personal touches to them. I mean, who doesn't want a nice new cozy sweatshirt? The first thing you need is a pattern, and I designed you a pattern. So you can download it at sewanastasia.com and it goes all the way up to 6X. So we have a size for everyone. You can download this pattern and print it out on your home printer and tape it together, or you can send it to a large format printer. I sent mine to pdfplotting.com. So that's why I have no tape marks in mine, because it was printed on one big sheet. Not the biggest fan of taping it all together. So I love just printing them out full size, which I highly recommend. And make sure you check out the size chart right where you purchase the pattern, so that way you make sure you are cutting out the right size. So you want to make sure you follow your bust and your waist measurement for the sweatshirt. And this video is not sponsored or anything like that. I just love that printing company, pdfplotting.com, because they only let people print sewing patterns. So cool. So I figured out my size and I'm going to cut the pattern out now. Here we go. We are all cut out. Now you should have your sleeve, your front bodice, your back bodice, your neckband, your waistband, and your cuff. Now it's time to cut out our fabric. So lay out your fabric and let's place our pattern down. Now any of the patterns that say place on fold, you need to make sure that your fabric is folded, so that way you end up with a full piece. So let's go over exactly how to do that. So I have my fabric folded, and you can see we have a nice fold right here of the fabric. And now I've got the paper pattern placed right over on the fold of the fabric. So you want to make sure it's just right at the edge and you don't cut open that edge. You can see where it says fold right here, which means it's on fold. Now we're going to cut it out. And now when we open it up, we've got a full back. Now you're going to want to cut out your front and your sleeve, but stay tuned for some tips on cutting out that rib knit. Now that we have the sweatshirt fleece all cut out, let's talk about the rib knit. So you have 3 rib knit pattern pieces. So you have one for the neck, one for the waist, and one for the cuffs. So you can buy rib knit by the yard, or you can buy it pre-made. So I'm going to be using the pre-made strips, but your pattern piece is for rib knit by the yard. So rib knit by the yard looks like this. So literally you buy it by the yard just like you do any other fabric. And pre-made rib knit looks like this. It has one finished edge and one raw edge. So if you're using the rib knit by the yard, you want to just use these pattern pieces as they are. Make sure you cut 2 for the cuff, 1 for the waistband, which is on fold, and then 1 for the neckband here. So then you're gonna have all of your pattern pieces cut in the rib knit by the yard. And if you do it this way, you're gonna end up folding it in half when you're sewing it together, so that way you have a nice clean folded edge at the bottom of it, just like the edge of this pre-made one. And you can see if we're using the pre-made one, we're going to need to fold our patterns in half, since it already has the finished edge there. So cut out your rib knit of choice, and then we're gonna sew this sweatshirt up. Now that we've got it all cut out, let's take a quick look at it. We've got the back, we've got the front, we've got our waistband rib knit, we've got our cuff rib knit, we've got our neck rib knit, and we've got our 2 sleeves. Today, I'm going to be using a serger to put this all together. But if you don't have a serger, that's okay. You can use the overcast stitch on your sewing machine. The first thing we're going to serge are the shoulders. So we are gonna sew the shoulders together. So make sure you're placing the front on top of the back with the right sides of the fabric together, and let's sew up these seams right here. So I'm gonna be serging, but you can use the overcast stitch on your regular sewing machine as well. It'll sew it and finish the edge at the same time. Now I'm gonna do the other side. And now we're done with the shoulders. Now that we have the shoulders sewn up, let's inset the sleeves. Hi, it's Anastasia from the future. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe to Sew Anastasia and hit the notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. Now let's get back to making this sweatshirt. To inset the sleeve, we need to sew the top of the sleeve here into the armhole. We're gonna place it right sides together, and we are going to start at the underarm seam here, and we are going to work our way all the way around the armhole while we're serging. Now, if you're using the serger, you could clip this together, or if you're using the sewing machine, you can go ahead and pin this together first. And we're gonna do the same thing to both sleeves. Now we're gonna sew the sleeve in. I like to stop, even it out, make sure it's nice and flat, and make sure my edges are lined up and that everything's going in smoothly. Look at how nice the sleeve insets into the armhole of the sweatshirt. This is looking great. Now it's time to do the other armhole. Now let's take a look at the top of our sleeve and finish sewing together the sides of this shirt. So you can really see the armhole coming together. So we've sewn from the armpit all the way up to the tip of your shoulder, all the way down to the other side of the armpit. We're looking great. Now let's put together the side seams of the shirt. So now what we're gonna do is place our right sides together, make sure our underarm seam is lining up at the armpit here where we put in the sleeve, and we are gonna sew up the bottom of the sleeve and the side seam of the sweatshirt all at the same time on the serger. And we're gonna do this on both sides of the shirt. Now we're gonna sew up this underarm and the side of the shirt. We're done with one side, and now we're gonna do the exact same thing to the other side. And we're finished with the sides and the arms of our sweatshirt. We did it! We have got the shell of our sweatshirt finished, and it was so easy, wasn't it? And the rest of it is going to be even easier. So let's finish it up. Next, we're gonna take the shirt and we are gonna turn it right side out. And right now is a really good time to try this on and see if you wanna take it in at all, because maybe you don't want it as baggy as you cut it out. And so right now you can go ahead and adjust that very easily. So now that we have the shirt right side face out, let's take a look at our rib knit and go over exactly how we're going to do this. The first piece of rib knit I'm going to put on is going to go around the neck. So it's this shorter piece here. Now what we want to do if you have finished rib knit is go ahead and fold it over and sew up the end right here. And now when we attach this end, we can choose to attach it to either the shoulder, or you can make that seam go at center back. Totally up to you on how you want that to look. I'm gonna go sew it together real quick so I can show you what I mean. So if you serged it, which I just did, you're gonna have this long thread tail that you wanna leave, and we want to put this on a tapestry needle and then get it back through the serge so that way it doesn't fall apart. Now, if you use the overcast stitch on your sewing machine, you obviously don't need to worry about this, you just back stitch. So we're gonna take it now and we're just going to stick it through the serge, give it a pull, and then we can cut it. And now it's nice and secure, and that's not going to fall apart in the wash. And then you can see how nice that looks from the top, the back, and the front. And you're gonna wanna do this for your cuffs and your waistband. So now I have all of my rib knit pieces prepped and ready to go to sew onto the sweatshirt here. And now, if you chose to do the rib knit by the yard, I'm gonna show you how to prep these as well. So if you cut out your cuff here, what you wanna do is right sides together, sew up one side. So now we've got it sewn up, and now what you wanna do is fold it wrong sides together. And what this does is it gives you a nice finished edge at the top, like the pre-made one, and it gives you a nice finished edge on the inside and the outside. And now your cuff would also be prepped and ready for your sweatshirt. So if you chose to do rib knit by the yard, you want to do this to your neckband, your waist, and your cuffs. Now I'm going to show you how to sew the rib knit around the neck in detail, and then you're going to do the exact same thing to the cuffs and the hem. Okay, so now what we need to do is get this piece of rib knit around the neck opening here. But we need to make sure we're placing right sides together. So that's going to be the side with the nice clean seam, because the wrong side is going to be the side with the serge here. So I'm going to find center back of the neck, and I'm going to line up that seam here. And I'm going to make sure that I get this piece of rib knit all the way around the neck. And you want to make sure that the raw edges are going to be facing up towards the raw edge of the sweatshirt when you do this. So I'm going to be using my clips today since I'm going to be serging this on. So I'm going to fold my back sweatshirt piece in half so I can exactly find center back here. And then I'm going to put a little chalk mark. And now I know exactly where to line it up. And now we can get a clip in there. Excellent. Okay, and now what we want to do is evenly stretch the neckband to fit the shirt. The other thing you can do is quarter it, so you can fold your sweatshirt and your rib knit in quarters and put little marks, and then you can stretch it out little by little and mark it. Honestly, a lot of times I like to stretch it out, hold it, and then I clip it. And then I'm going to stretch it out again, hold it, and clip it. Again, for the front, I'm going to hold it, stretch it, hold it again, and clip it. So now you can see how the rib knit is smaller than the neck, but I've evenly distributed the stretch. You're going to be doing the same thing to the cuffs and the rib knit at the hem, but you need to make sure that you're lining up the seams. So for the cuffs, we're going to line up the underarm of the sleeve with the seam here in the cuff. And then for the rib knit for the hem of the shirt, we're going to line up the seam on the rib knit with the side seam of the shirt. Now let's serge all those on, and then we get to try on our sweatshirt. Okay, so let's serge the neck binding on. There we go. And now we're gonna do the cuffs. Now we're going to attach the hem. And we're done. We finished, so now let's take a look at our finished sweatshirt. So we have our beautiful rib knit neck, we have our beautiful rib knit cuffs and hem. Just those beautiful finishing details on the sweatshirt. And I just love using this heavy pre-made rib. It just gives it such a nice high-end feel. Here it is. We've finished our Crewneck sweatshirt, and it looks like a sweatshirt. Making a sweatshirt is so easy, and adding all the rib knit details, which can seem kind of scary, is actually super, super easy because it looks cool and it's a way to finish the edge of the fabric. And these make such a great holiday gift to make for friends and family. You could add pockets or embroidery or pom-poms. And if you have a cry-cut machine, you can totally make your own designs and iron them on sweatshirts for everyone. Or you could make matching holiday sweatshirts for you and your family. The ideas are endless, and sweatshirts are so fun and cozy and easy to make. You could make the sleeves bigger, you can make the arms longer, you can make the body longer. You can definitely add your own personal touches to this super easy pattern. And don't forget to download it at sewinganastasia.com under digital downloads. Thanks so much for watching Sewing Anastasia today. I hope you enjoyed making a crew cut sweatshirt. If you have any questions about making this shirt, leave it down below and I will get back with you as soon as I can. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, give it some applause, and leave a comment down below. And if you're not already a follower to Sewing Anastasia, make sure you follow and hit that notification bell so you know when all the new videos come out. And if you're already a follower, thank you so much for watching today. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and TikTok and all the social media websites, so that way we can stay connected and creative together. And also don't forget, I teach sewing classes in my design studio here in Chicago, Illinois. And you can take those in person or virtually, so check those out at sewinganastasia.com. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.